Okay, here we go. Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for joining. I really, really, really appreciate you all being here. Thanks to all of the ladies that are watching this replay right now. I just truly believe that you will get a lot of value from this workshop. And yeah, we're going to get started. My name is Nisha Free. Onisha Freeman, actually. But people call me Nisha and Free for short. This first slide really shows you two people that truly inspired the gift that I shouldn't call it necessarily gift, but they just inspire me. One being my son, and the other being my mom. Um, my mom is an incredibly hard worker. She is the person who really inspired me to just press on to become a business owner and to not even just say so much a business owner, but just to seek other opportunities outside of just working. She always was very creative. She is a incredibly creative person. She's a florist. She can draw really good. She makes like the best paper airplanes in the world. She's very crafty. Um, she's extremely creative, and I just appreciate and get that creativity or get my creativity from her. And of course, my son, he is uh, a, an incredible, curious, brilliant young man. He's 9 years old, and he is my baby. And I hope that I'm doing all of the things that I am trying to do for him. So before we get started, I just kind of like to start with a good word, which is do not despise the day of small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Do not despise the day of small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. That is like the best, the best quote or the best verse that just exemplifies what a lot of single moms who are entrepreneurs or just have a great business idea they want to get off the ground. I would encourage you all to just lean on this verse specifically. Just start, start somewhere, and as you start you ask God for guidance and he will help you along the way. But if you never take that first step, all of those grand ideas are just in your head, and you just never know how one idea can honestly change the world. And that idea could be in your head, it could be in your children's head. And one thing about being a single mom and running a business is that the kids are watching you. They're seeing what you're doing and how you hustle and how you work hard. But do you want them to always see you just busting your butt for other people, or do you want them to see you, um, you know, in addition to having a job or career, also it really inspires them when they see you grinding for your own using your own talents and dreams to bring an income into the home. So what are you going to learn today? First of all, we're going to go over what is a brand and how do you know if you really have one. Also, the one big mistake a lot of single moms, entrepreneurs make that waste time and money, and how to stop. And also 6 action steps to upgrade your brand using a real life example. And today's example and feature business is Fabulous Tutus. So what is a brand? According to Seth Godin, a brand is a set of expectations, memories, stories, and relationships that, taken together, account for a customer's decision to choose one service over another. So what does that really mean? Let's break it down just a little bit. You have their expectations, their memories, their stories, and their relationships. And it is the consumer's decision to choose you over someone else. So, what I would like to tell you to do is focus on building your business. As you get clarity about your business, you can develop your brand. That means that you can't put the brand before the business. You have to build that business first. The business, building the business, you have to start with a very good foundation. So let's talk about some foundational things of business and some action steps that you can take to make sure you're setting a good foundation for your business in order to develop your brand in the future. First and foremost, you got to know who your ideal customer is. If you have a product or service and you don't know your ideal customer, meaning the person that you would ideally want to purchase the product or service that you have, if you don't know who that is, then it could be that some of your business ventures or ideas or directions or messages, they could become a little misguided if you don't know who that person is. So step number one is to just figure out who your ideal customer is. Step number two, or actually step number two, is the elevator pitch. When someone asks you, what do you do? It should not take you more than 30 seconds to tell them. It may be that if you know who your ideal customer is and that person talking to you could potentially be that person, then you can tell them about one specific aspect of your business and not every single thing that you do. I am a multi-passionate person. I have lots of different projects and business ideas and things going on. So if someone were to ask me simply, what do you do? That is like the most difficult question to answer sometimes, because I do a lot of different things. But if I know who my ideal customer is, for instance, if it was a single mom that I was talking to, or just a mom in general that was speaking to me and she says, what do you do? More than likely, I would lead with how I help single moms with business and career development. I wouldn't go off talking about website designs and graphics and other stuff. I would try to really focus my conversation on that initial thing, and then as they continue to ask me questions, I may bring up some of the other things that I do. So try to think about what your elevator pitch is for your business and keep it simple and keep it short, under 30 seconds, so you can try to time yourself. Also, what is the problem solved or the fulfilled need that you have for your customer? So this again goes back to the customer. We are living in a customer driven society. You have to know them like the back of your hand. You have to be able to talk to them, and you have to be able to solve a problem for them or fulfill a need. So think about your business, think about your products or services, and how do they solve a problem or how do they fulfill a need? Not your personal needs that you think they have, but a need that they actually have. And the only way you can figure out what their needs are is to first identify who your target market is and then ask them. If you ask them, that helps you further develop your product or service. Another thing that I would love for you to do, I want you to do, is peep the competition. I think a lot of times we avoid looking at the competition because we don't want to be copycats. We don't want to be intimidated. We don't want to be discouraged. We want to just do our own thing. But the reality is you have to look at your competition. And the reason why is because of the next thing. You have to see how you're unique. You have to be able to look at your competition and say, based on what I see, this is how my brand can be different from them. And we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get into our real life example. But again, uniqueness, you also hear people say differentiation or differentiated. How are you differentiated? How are you different from your competition? That's all that is really about. You got to be unique. You got to be different. And even in a world of everybody seems to be doing the same thing, trust me, you can find some way, something unique, some unique way you can position your product so that you can stand out amongst the competition. And the very last thing that is so important for single mom entrepreneurs is to be able to tell your story. We have incredible stories, testimonies of resilience, of brilliance, of overcoming, of surviving, of thriving. I mean, we have incredible stories, and that story will really can really pull at the heartstrings of your audience, of your target market, potentially. And then once you are able to tell your story, and when I say tell your story, I mean tell your story not physically like necessarily talk to them and tell them your life story, but I mean tell them, or your story needs to be, or you personally needs to be embedded in your business, embedded in the messaging and your in what you in how you communicate your service or product to your target market. Your story should be a part of that because your story is super important, and the why behind the development of the product is compelling, and people love stories. I actually had an opportunity to visit the offices of Google here in Atlanta about 4 or 5 months ago, and the CEO was telling us that everything is about storytelling. That's what it is today. Everything is about storytelling. So if you can find a way to weave your story into your product or service, it will be just, it will really drive home and touch the emotions of your customers. But again, you gotta know who they are so you know how to position yourself in front of them and your story in front of them. Okay, so let's talk about a business mom in real life. This business mom who we are going to go over today, her name is Landy. She is a sweet person. She's a very, very hard worker. She's super talented, and I'm really, really excited about featuring her on today's webinar. Landy is the owner of Fabulux Tutus. Just to give you a little background about Landy, this is Landy and her children. She has, and they're little in this picture. They're big boys and big girls now, but Landy works very hard for her kids, and she also does a couple of things. Landy she specializes in children's hair. And these are some pictures of some of the cute little hairstyles that she did. They are incredible. I love it. Unfortunately, I have a boy, so I don't get to take my son to get cute hairstyles. All he gets is a little fade, but I just love her style of hair design. So Landy specializes in hair, and as you can see, if you look back at the picture, she has plenty of heads to practice on. Also, this is where the tutus can come in at. So this picture is a picture of her products, actually on a live person. This cute young lady right here is wearing one of her tutus, and she also does customized shoes to match the tutus. She has a hair salon, so at the hair salon she has a display for the tutu. So as ladies come into the hair salon, if they were interested in a tutu, they could take a look at what she has on display here. And here is some other pictures of her products. As you can see, she does do some custom sewing, and she can do specific characters and specific colors. One fabulous thing that I like about Fabulux Tutus is the princess parties. And the princess parties, as you can see, all these pretty little girls are here. They have the princess parties in the hair salon, and they have, each young lady has a tutu, and they do hair, and they paint nails, and they do all kinds of fun stuff. And the Princess Parties is actually another service that they do at the hair salon. So how does Landy currently market Fabulous tutus? I posted here some screenshots of some of her Facebook posts. She primarily uses Facebook and Instagram to showcase her products. She also has some business cards and flyers that she passes out that lets people know how they can get to her products and purchase her products. As you can see, she has, all right, are you ready for some football? This is a great idea here. Fabulous Tutus is now taking orders for your little princess and your favorite team. If you're a Falcons fan, we're here in Atlanta, so if you're a Falcons fan, then you can add your tutu to your daughter's collection or wardrobe. And I just think that is the coolest idea. And of course, she has a few other posts showcasing the actual tutus in the different styles that she has. Landy currently right now is actually doing this on her personal Facebook page. So that means the only people that'll actually see these posts are people that are friends of hers, or if one of her friends were to share it. But if you look down here at the actual likes, you will see that each one of these posts only got a few likes. The other way to purchase one thing is that if you wanted to purchase a Fabulous tutu, you can do it two ways. You can either purchase it directly inside of the store, inside of the hair salon, or you can purchase it online. She has an online store. It's an Etsy store. In order to get to the Etsy store, you would go to etsy.com, and that's etsy.com, Fabulous Tutu, and then you would just, once you put in Fabulous Tutu, you hit search, and then the tutus come up. And as you can see, here are her tutus. You would click to make a purchase, and that's how you would purchase a Fabulous tutu if you were not able to pick one up locally. A little about Etsy. So her platform for selling her products online is through Etsy. I honestly don't know a ton about Etsy, but I did just do a little screenshot of the Etsy page. They say that it's affordable, transparent, and secure. Security is very important. There's no monthly fees. You get automatic deposits, which is great, secure transactions, and the seller protection. And all of those things are great. There's 20 cents per product that she would be listing in the Etsy store. And then they also take a 3.5% transaction fee, and and then payment processing takes some more. So basically, Etsy takes a cut of the profits, and then she just gets the rest. And that's so that she will have access and the benefit of using their secure store space. All right, so what can we do to take Fabulous tutus to the next level? There's a lot we can do. I think that Landy has an amazing product, but she hasn't really leveraged online marketing to move her business or her product. Also, she needs a brand. Fabulous tutus needs a logo. It needs some colors. It needs something to make it stand out. When I say she needs a brand, I mean she needs some brand imaging. She needs a Nike swoosh. You know what I'm saying? She needs something that's going to make people think Fabulous tutus, and then the colors and the things like that will pop out. So let's just look at it. She needs a few other things that we'll get into. But let's just go to the strengths. So I decided to do a SWOT analysis, and this is just like a marketing 101 type of thing where you just really look at your business and you look at what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, and what are your threats. And then after that, you create some next steps to try to move those weaknesses and make them strengths, or just address them. So one of her strengths is that she has a great story. And again, I said earlier about making sure that you weave your story in your product and service. But unfortunately, because of the way she has her platform right now, the only way people would really know her story is if they asked. Well, I asked. I said, Landy, why did you start this? Why do you do this? And one of the reasons is because one of her daughters wants to do fashion design, and she thought that it would be a great way to bond with her daughters. She has two teenage daughters. She also um, put it as a part of the princess parties, and the princess parties are a cool idea, and the way she weaved that in, and just her personal story alone is incredible. And so her story alone again is a huge strength, and she should really showcase it. And she could, because her daughters are teenagers, they'll be her best brand advocates once she develops her brand imaging. Also, she has a cute product. I mean, tutus. I mean, that's awesome. You know, you put tutus on little babies, take pictures. I mean, awesome product. She has a localized service, and I mean that people, they can buy it online, but they can also just go to the salon and pick it up. And so people, if they don't want to wait, she could use that to actually be a local tutu maker, a local Atlanta tutu maker, and leverage the ability to target people specifically in Atlanta who want to buy tutus to just come and pick it up from the salon. And that also drives some foot traffic into the salon that may not necessarily have gone there. So that's an extra way to even market the salon. Her packaging is really cute. Landy told me that she has a special cute hanger that she puts them on, and she also gives a little tutu, a little bracelet made out of the same material that the tutu is made out of. So, and she gives that with every order for free. So I thought that was super cute, and she totally should keep that. Packaging is a big thing. People remember, oh, how cute the packaging was when they received their product. I put Prince Party, but I meant Princess Party concept as genius. I've already said that. Princess Parties, I think, is so genius, and that is a great concept that she should definitely try to build onto. It's a family business. She has, again, incorporated her children in the making of the tutus, in the design, and just modeling them. Also, they're made to order, and people can get custom products from her. That's great. If they can just say, I want my child loves Hello Kitty, so they can get a Hello Kitty tutu. Also, it's kid friendly. Um, so, you know, kids ask, what do I want for Christmas? We want them to say, I want a Fabulous tutu. Not just that I want a tutu, but they want a Fabulous tutu. That's the difference between the two, is the uniqueness of Fabulous, the exclusivity of having a Fabulous tutu. Now, let's just go over a few weaknesses. One of the weaknesses is she doesn't have currently today a clear ideal customer. And until she has an ideal customer, she won't waste her time. She will be wasting her time marketing to pretty much just anybody with a kid. Because anybody with a kid or anybody with a daughter does not necessarily want a tutu. So trying to narrow it down to who are her ideal customers and where they are so that she can market to them. Also, there's no direct access to the products online. And I say that because in order to get to the product currently, you have to actually go to Etsy.com, type in Fabulous Tutus, and then you get to her product. That's too many steps. What we would like to see happen, or what I would like to see happen, is for them to be able to type in FabulousTutus.com and get to the product. At least we eliminated one step, and that'll be very important because people are impatient. They want what they want, and they want it now. So we don't want to have to send them all over the world and back again to get the tutus when they're getting them online. People don't follow directions well. They don't listen well. So you got to be really clear. If you told them to go to FabulousTutu.com and boom, when they got there, they saw the product right away, they get that. Taking 3 or 4 steps to get there, they might get frustrated if they don't find what they need, or they might happen upon somebody else's product by mistake. Also, it's really not different from the competition. Although she has amazing tutus, they're super cute, and in theory they're different from the competition. If you were to look at other tutus in the Etsy store, you will find a lot of tutus similar to Fabulous tutus. So we got to find a bigger way to differentiate her tutus from other people. And I think that niching it down, particularly maybe um, with the or coupling it with the princess parties, but also niching it down to football season or sports children, fan children, or something like that, or specific colors or specific types of flowers. I mean, just kind of again figuring out what that uniqueness is, so that the competition, so she won't get drowned in the sea of other tutu makers. Also, another weakness is her advertising. Again, right now she's just advertising on Instagram and Facebook, and it's her own personal page. Those tutus are mixed in with her pictures of her family and other things, and so it just is overshadowed by other things. So we have to figure out a better way to advertise the tutus online. Also, there's no ROI with Etsy. Currently, she has not made a sale in her Etsy store, and ROI is return on investment. And so, because she has not had a return on investment as of yet, we got to look at, is Etsy the best platform for her to sell her tutus? And also, the story is missing. Unfortunately, because she's on the Etsy platform and not any, there's no other space, she really can't embed her story in her products using Etsy as the platform to sell them. The threats. One of the biggest threats right now with her online sales is that Etsy is suggesting products that are less expensive and similar to her products. So if I were to click on one of her products and actually go to Etsy, let me actually see if I can do it right now, because I can show you guys. But yeah, like if you click on, oops, if you click on the Etsy store and you go to Fabulous Tutus, you will actually see. So I'm going to go right now to Etsy.com. And then I'm going to go to, this is the process that a typical customer would have to go through. Fabulous Tutus. All right, and I got there. All right, so what I'm going to do is click on one of the products. This beautiful Bashfully Blue. Super cute. I love it. I love what I'm seeing here. And then when I scroll down, I'm going to see some of her other products and all of that good jazz, which is great. Next thing, if I were to add it to my cart, soon as I add it to my cart, this is what I'm not feeling about Etsy. Soon as I add it to my cart, like I'm literally ready to pay. Getting a customer from the "ooh, that's so cute" to "I'm ready to pay" part of life online is a huge step. Companies are spending millions of dollars to bring people from, "oh, this is an awesome product" to I want to buy this product. So here we are at the point where the person has decided, I want this product, and Etsy is down here telling me about other stuff. Oh, actually, they're telling me about other Fabulous products. So that's actually not a bad thing. But I know when I was online, let me go back. I was online here. Oh, this is it over here. So I'm online and I'm looking at this tutu. Well, I was looking at it on my phone, so maybe it's different. Maybe it's a little different when you look at it on your phone. Because when I looked at it from my phone, the first thing I saw was other tutus. And I was like, what? Like, that's not good. I don't want to go to purchase her tutus and then I'm seeing other tutus. And the reality is, A lot of people are purchasing products on their phones. And so, what it looks to me is that the Etsy platform, when it's on the computer, is different from the mobile version, because the mobile version immediately started showing me all these other tutus that cost less money than the Fabulous tutus. And I was like, that's not good at all. So, anyway, back to our presentation here. Oh, goodness. So yeah, so again, we just don't want Etsy showing us other stuff that's cheaper than our products or that looks the same or different. But anyway, it's still going to be a threat. Competition in general is always going to be a threat. That's why you got to differentiate yourself. And lastly, our opportunities. She has an opportunity to identify her ideal customer. It says ICA, Ideal Customer Avatar. And by identifying her ideal customer, she'll be able to know who specifically she's talking to. Also, she should, I think, register fabulookstutus.com. And the reason why is because even if she doesn't want to use fabulookstutus.com domain name, what if she did one day? And possibly she can direct, well, I know for a fact, she can direct fabulookstutus.com to her Etsy store. And that way people don't have to go to the search to type it in. They can just type in fabulookstutus.com and then go. The only issue is still remains that spelling Fabulous Tutu, if they spell Fabulous Tutu wrong, it could potentially, send them to the wrong place. So, but there's an opportunity there to go ahead and grab your domain name. Also, she could instead of branding her tutu business product, she could just brand the princess parties as a business and then have the tutus be an extension or a product or service as a part of that business. So she could call it, say for instance, Fabulous Princess Parties or Fabulous Princesses or something like that. And as a part of Fabulous Princesses, the business, she can have princess parties and tutus. So when say for instance, if we're looking at her website, she would have her princess party. She would have show the services, pictures of the princess party, show the services, and then maybe a button for people to make a deposit for their party. She could tell about all the things they get. And then another one could be the store. And then when they click on the store, it opens up the store with all these tutus if they just want to buy a custom tutu for their princess who's having their birthday party. Or just, they may not want a princess party with Fabulous princess parties, but they still want a tutu. So boom, they can go and buy it. So it kind of actually, because obviously with children and work and all kinds of other stuff, we have to figure out ways to maximize our efforts. And to me, this would be a great way, because if she starts to manage multiple different businesses and brands, but they're all so similar and could potentially be all under one specific umbrella, then why not do that, as opposed to separating Fabulous Tutus is one business, the princess parties, say for instance, is one business, and then the children's hair is one business. It's possible that they could all be a part of one business targeted specifically to women who have children, or excuse me, to women, two moms who have daughters that want to be treated to a princess party, which was, let's say, kids in elementary school, right? So then that goes back to her ideal customer avatar. A little girl is not wearing beads and curly cues on her hair when she's in middle or high school. So now that helps her narrow her ideal customer down to the person who has to be a mom, obviously. They have to have a daughter, and their daughter most likely needs to be in elementary school. Yes, I know that Landy has daughters who are teenagers and they still wear tutus, but when we think about children's hair, in combination with the princess parties, in combination with the tutus, all three of those could be marketed to the same person. And that person is most likely a mom with a daughter in elementary school. But that's just one way to narrow it down. Again, she could also, another way to advertise, an opportunity for advertising is for her Facebook ads. She can use her Facebook ads to drive traffic to a new website that is going straight, that she owns on her own. Um, she can also use Pinterest. Pinterest is one of the fastest growing platforms, social media platforms online. Lots of women, mostly women, are on Pinterest. So she can definitely use Pinterest or leverage Pinterest as a way to advertise her business if she isn't already. I didn't ask her, so she may already be doing that. One thing I do want to say about online marketing is that you have to be consistent. You cannot do this every so often whenever it just really just doesn't work like that. So what Landy would have to do is she'd have to stick to a schedule, determine which platform she wants to use, and really just be consistent about sharing her children's services using those specific platforms. Not just put the platform up and say buy a tutu. I mean, put the product up and say buy a tutu, because people, they don't like that because it's too salesy. It's like you got to build a relationship with them. In order to do that, you have to be consistent, give them other information outside of just saying buy my tutu. You can kind of slip that in when you're ready. But another opportunity is birthdays and Halloween. Birthday, she told me about a guy that came in the salon to sell something to her, and she ended up selling him a tutu because he remembered, oh, my niece is having a birthday party. This is a perfect gift for her. Yeah, exactly. Just fireworks is going off in my head because I'm like, yes, birthday parties. This is a perfect gift for the birthday girl, and she could, do a whole just birthday girl package where she has a tutu, a birthday girl button, a birthday girl bracelet, a birthday girl tiara, and she can box that up and mail that to people. And that's a product she can sell, a packaged product she can sell online. Again, differentiating herself from the competition. And she brought this up that her daughter has a great idea to create tutus for all American dolls. Or is it all American dolls or American dolls? But baby dolls. So a little girl, if she's really young, like say in the second grade or something, she's playing with baby dolls. She can have a tutu. Her baby doll and her can have matching tutus. How cute is that? I also see opportunities for making tutus for newborn babies when they take their newborn baby photos. It could be a tutu and a headband that matches together. Again, this could be packaged together and something that she could sell online as a package as opposed to just a tutu by itself. So let's go back a little bit and talk about Etsy. And actually, I have to take a peep here because I want to make sure. Sorry. I want to make sure I'm still live and recording. Good. All right. So let's go back, talk about Etsy one more time. I am not against Etsy, but I do think that she has to look at the pros and cons of being on Etsy. One pro is that it's ready to go. It's ready to rock. You upload your products, you put a little description, you set your price, and boom. You don't have to do a whole lot of setup, which I'm sure that's why she may have even tried that in the first place. Lots of people have been successful on Etsy. But a lot of people that I've seen that probably have been super successful have a super unique product that just is so different that you just can't get it anywhere else. Also, people are used to using Etsy to purchase products. They're just used to purchasing products on Etsy. It's a well-known platform, a well-known store. They're like, you can tell them go to Etsy, and they kind of like know what they're going there and know what they can get. And they have community boards that are available to help you. So if you don't know how to do something, you can just check those community boards and find out how to do it. So that all of those are great pros. Excuse me. Some cons of Etsy is that you just don't have that much control over your Etsy store. You don't have you're limited in design options. There's like, only certain colors, only so much branding you can do, only so much um, you can really do. And again, the lack of the fact that she can't weave her personal story into her products or her other services. Into, she can't sell her princess parties on Etsy. So I feel like that kind of is definitely a con. Also, lots of similar products on the site listed in the sidebar, and we talked about that when I was trying to, look at the site again. It's like you don't want people to be looking at other people's stuff. You want them to really stay focused on what you have. And also that they take a cut of the profits. Granted, it's not that much, but it's still a cut of the products, of the profits, and we want to just get as much as we are supposed to be getting. All right, so what's the pros and cons of her coming off of Etsy and actually having her own e-commerce site, which she can have people go to? The pros is that she has total and ultimate control over the design and the marketing of her business. She is not drowning in a sea of other products and other things. She can really have her online home, her website, be focused on her products. And she's able to tell her story there, and able to share more about, the fabulous lifestyle on that website. She just cannot do that being on Etsy. Also, there's no competitor advertising. There's no extra stuff for any other tutus for anyone else to look at. Looking at other people's prices, all of that is out the window. So what about the cons? You got, it's setting up. Setting it up is probably like the hardest part. You have to get over a learning curve, or you got to spend some money. And I know everybody, the learning curve is one thing and the money is a whole other thing. So it's like learning curve takes a lot of time potentially, and you got to spend some money. But Mandy is my girl. I'm going to help her get this going. And the reason why is because I want you all to really see us take what I'm telling you all, and I want you all to see her grow. And so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of get her going, get her set up, and see how much of a difference that has made. Another con for the e-commerce site is a marketing plan. You're going to have to figure out a way to drive traffic to the site. On Etsy, people are naturally just kind of going on Etsy because they just are curious as to what's on Etsy, looking at cute stuff all the time. Whereas if you have your own e-commerce site, it'll be up to you to drive traffic. But to me, either way, it's so many products on Etsy. The likelihood of somebody just running into it and finding it and buying it, it would have to be just awesomely that unique for that to happen. It's just as highly unlikely as it is for somebody to just randomly bump into her website. Either way, you got to market it. You have to market it either way. And again, there's still competition. There's other tutu companies out there. If somebody would have just put in tutus, and she probably wouldn't be the first one that comes up because she doesn't have her domain name registered, fabulookstutus.com. So it would take a while for people to be able to just simply see her if they just put in tutus. So she would definitely still have competition out there. All right, so Q&A time. If anybody has any questions, just let me know. There is a slight delay, so I just want you to know that I'm not like ignoring you or anything. I see you. I just may not be able to say anything because I got it's a little bit of a delay. So go ahead and post your questions and let me know if you need anything or if you have any questions about what I've said. I do want to tell you some of the next steps that we're going to take with Fabulous Tutus. We're going to go ahead, or I'm going to have her go ahead, or I recommend that she buys the domain name fabulookstutus.com, or she comes up with a business model that is really centered around the princess parties, and again having Fabulous Tutus as a product that is sold in combination with the princess parties. Also, she's already done this, but I had her go ahead and see how much money Etsy and PayPal together was taking for somebody to go ahead and buy a product, and it still ended up being maybe like $3 or $4, which is not a significant amount, but we just, we have to know. We can't guess at these things. But she will also have to say, because her real profit is not just how much Etsy is taking plus how much PayPal is taking. It's also how much does it cost to make the product. And then whatever's left over, that's her profit. Also, what I want her to do is I want her to validate the Etsy store. So I'm going to challenge her to be able to sell 5 tutus in 30 days. And that is not her going out telling people I have to sell 5 tutus in 30 days or else she's going to kill me. It's not like that. It's more of she needs to see if staying with Etsy is viable. So I'm challenging her to sell 5 tutus in 30 days, or she can just do 2 tutus in 2 weeks. So that's 1 tutu a week. I mean, it's just how much time you want to spend, because she is investing money in Etsy, right now. But so far, she hasn't seen a return. If she continues to, like, after the 30 days is over, or the 2 weeks, whatever we decide is over, what we'll do is we'll see if what we need to do to make a adjustment with Etsy store. So at that time, if we still haven't made a sale, we'll either do one or two things. We'll change the products, market them, see if we make a sale, or we'll change the platform, like getting her own e-commerce site set up, putting it on there, leaving the Etsy store up potentially, and then, kind of see which one is making moves. It really wouldn't hurt for her to keep the Etsy store, but still do her own e-commerce site. It wouldn't hurt, But again, I think creating a more unique product is also something that we're going to work on. I also will help her, if she doesn't already have it set up, a Pinterest page set up, and get her using Pinterest. And we will together find ways to embed her story and embed her daughters more into the fabric of the business. Okay, looks like we didn't have any questions, and so I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I know we started a little late, but I just really appreciate your time and everything, and I hope that you continue to reach out to me if you are interested in working with me and would like to let me help you, say, one-on-one, get some direction with your business. Just shoot me an email and we can just talk. Supermom at singlemombusinessmom.com. No, it's kind of long, but there it is right there. Supermom at singlemombusinessmom.com. You can always visit me on the website, singlemombusinessmom.com. You can also find me on Instagram, singlemombizmom. Why? Because they won't let me put that many letters. Singlemombizmom on Instagram, Pinterest, and I also have a Facebook page. Feel free to go to facebook.com/singlemombusinessmom. Please visit the site, we have a private Facebook group, Mastermind, and actually each business that'll be featured in these weekly webinars will come from the lovely ladies in the Single Mom Business Mom Mastermind group. So join that group so we can, do an analysis of your business, and I can help you out that way. All right. I love you all. God bless. Goodbye.